viewers and all entrepreneurs, innovators who are watching regularly our show. That's Space Talk. So it's a show about space technologies and all the things happening in the ecosystem. And we are making this show to let people know about NASA Space App Challenge, the Space App India pre-hackathons that we just did one day back on 26th. So this show is really becoming more valuable day by day. And today we are having with us Mr. Dr. M.K. Kaushik with us, and I will just go with a small introduction because people need to know about the speaker before they can put really relatable questions, and they can really get the real importance out of this session. So I'm just going to describe about sir. How important sir is and what kind of incredible achievements sir has. So sir has completed PhD in wireless communication from BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus, and having 10 years of experience in industry, academia, research and startup ecosystem, have 23 international and national conferences and journals as publications and 2 patents published. He is faculty lead in Quanser International project. He has mentored 5 startups and organized 12 hackathons, Ideathons, ESUMMITs and technology competitions. Have produced educational videos in subjects he teach and laboratories he handle, and content useful or engineers on YouTube. Delivered seminars and conducted workshops on various technologies aspects in electronics and communication domain. Designed online certification courses, entrepreneurship 101 and technologies for future safe in association with Ideathons. And he has encouraged students in many competitions and won awards. He's a member of IUCEE and leading India. He has won many awards, among them second prize in research methodology during 5th International Conference on Microelectronic Circuits and Systems, Best Poster Award in EEE Doctoral Research Symposium 2018 held in BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. Currently held position as the CEO of Vagdevi Incubation and Business Accelerator. Dr. Kaushik Madakasira, CEO of Vagdevi Incubation. So we are absolutely splendid, absolutely excited to host you, sir, and hope all the viewers will really get whatever they're asking about the startups and incubations. They will really get help as well as insights about what's the ecosystem is happening, and most importantly the most first question and the most important question we will go through and they will know about it, that is what is the current scenario of space tech in India, or what is the opportunities is there in space tech, right? So thank you so much for joining us, sir, and the stage is yours.
Yeah. Thank you, Arijit, and Think Again Lab for inviting me for the Space Talk. I've been seeing your Space Talk series, and you people are doing a great job. So, yeah, as you said, I have 10 years of experience in industry, research, academia, and startup ecosystem. I run an incubation center called Vagdevi Incubation and Business Accelerator. So, coming to your question, if we want to look into opportunities in space, let's understand what are all the sectors in the space community, right? First of all, there are so many satellites sitting in geostationary and MEO and LEO, right? So much of data is produced from those satellites over there. And data is new oil. You all know this statement, which is given by the experts, right? So much of data is coming from those satellites. There should be one agency or startup who looks into the data, clean the data, analyze the data, okay? If you just look into the images, what we are getting from the satellites, if you understand and if you analyze and if you just forecast what's happening there, then there are so many applications where these data can be useful. First opportunity is that already huge data, not only from ISRO, NASA, JAXA, ESA, so many space agencies have their satellites sitting over there and sending the data. If you just play around the data, put your artificial intelligence algorithms or machine learning algorithms so that you can get some information about it, and then that can be useful for so many societal applications. That is one thing. Then coming to launching the satellites, launch space sector itself is a big thing. I'll tell one example. If you take Falcon from Tesla, the wait period to launch a SATCOM satellite for it is 2 years. Okay, if you are ready with your SATCOM satellite, if you want to push it through Falcon, okay, you have to wait for 2 years, right? So that kind of opportunities are there in that launch vehicle sector, right? At the same time,
And
that's
also a fund related stuff that you need to have proper funding, and it takes time to get into this launching vehicle stuff, because the launching vehicle is the most expensive part of the space program. So it's always better to get into virtual stuff like using their data. So that's very important point, that we can really use the data, and if we have proper people with proper skill set, we can use those data free of cost and get meanings out of them and help the people and get money out of it. So we can even really start with zero money in this particular sector if we are working with data science and AI machine learning with the data available. So that's really valuable for.
Yeah, if you see our NASA Space Apps Challenge, which we people are conducting, if you go to the challenges, you have all the resources which are available there. People can directly use the resources, and they can work on the resources, and they can build some products around that. So that is one sector. And coming to, nowadays, small satellites, micro satellites, nano satellites are a big things. Okay, why? Because for weather applications, or for fishery population, or otherwise minerals which are available, otherwise agricultural sector, you need to put up few small satellites and nano satellites, which are very cost efficient, right? Now, if you have some fund, and if you are in collaboration with some government agencies, or if you have some venture capitalists who are interested in funding these areas, then you can work in that. Okay, that is one thing where you people can work. For example, I'll tell, there are some Indian companies like Dhruva Space and Bellatrix who are into the space. Okay, they are associated with ISRO and DRDO. Okay, they have the backup of these government agencies, so that these people are building this small satellite vehicles, at the same time smaller satellites which takes care of this weather applications or something like that. This is one part where if you have good backup with the government, and if you have a backup from venture capitalists, then you can spend your time and energy in this sector. The other sector is space robotics, right? You have some satellite sitting in LEO or MEO or geostationary. If something happens to some part, you need to replace that. If you want to replace, again, you have to send, you have to wait for the launch vehicle, you have to put that part, and then it has to go there, and things has to happen. If you have space robots over there, you can just do some programming from ground station. It does the operations there. That is one. You can design the robots. You can work around with space robots, which can be placed in the orbits, and that's the operation.
Cyborgs kind of stuff.
Yes. And then other area is like 3D. You have this 3D printing. Even footprinting technologies have come into picture, right? You can have 3D printers with you, so that you can print your satellite, so that cost-effective satellites can be built. Wastage will be less, right? You can enter into this 3D printing technology. At the same time, footprinting is new thing where our astronauts there. Okay, you can print your pizza with this foot printer, and you can give food to astronauts. See, these are the areas which are there in the ecosystem. You need to cautiously look into what's your strength. Why? Because if you have strength in programming, if you have strength in building some applications or algorithms around the data, you choose that. As you said, with low cost, the data is available. Why? Because space data is democratized. Only few which are very important, that is not provided, but almost all data is democratized.
We have given access to 45,000 data sets from NASA to all the participants of NASA Space Apps Challenge. So the data is available. If you know how to get the patterns and how to get a meaningful information visualization out of it, you can do it.
Yes. Even if you see autonomous vehicles, they completely rely on satellite imagery data. Okay, if you just look at the rate of space exploration, a plethora of applications are there. Okay, you need to find the right area, what's your strength, where you can work. If you have electronics background, you need to work in that direction. Otherwise, see, even these rockets or launch vehicles, small launch vehicle or large launch vehicles, it requires thrusters. If you are a mechanical student, you can work on thrusters. Electrical thrusters are nowadays there. People are using electric thrusters. Previously, people used to use the chemical thrusters. That is the problem. I mean, it is always a problem. Okay, electric thrusters are new areas where electric as well as mechanical students work towards that, so that the age or the reusable rockets can be done based on this. Okay,
Exactly.
and there is one more application: space debris. There is so much of space debris. You people, I mean, I heard somewhere that there is one startup where they have raised millions of funds for it's like an Airbus which goes there. Whatever satellites, few satellites, they have some age, right? 7 years to 15 years. So once the age of that satellite is done, this bus will go there, take all the debris in that bus, it comes back, and it just, obviously, if you deorbit it, it comes down, it burns in the air, but there is so much of debris in the space. If you have some mechanism to just vanish the debris, we can't vanish all the debris in the space, but at least in these orbital spaces, you can vanish the debris. Otherwise, you can get back the satellites back, and you can just decommission it and work towards that. So these are the areas where people have to explore, and if you name anything, you have so many areas people can work around it. Yeah, these are the opportunities.
So that's great. Even we are seeing that very good startups from India as well are working on space science. Few are on space tech education. Few are really developing this launch vehicle. Like we have seen few days back, this Skyroot has developed a cryogenic rocket engine. That's an indigenous rocket engine. That's really incredible to see, because space is something that requires each and every kind of knowledge set, skill set. So there is no boundary, and we should look into this, and we should encourage people to get into this. Not only being don't consider whenever you are entrepreneur, you have to be an aggregator, or you have to build a software platform and make money out of it. So these are always space is always the most problematic area that we look for. Because if we are thinking about the space colonization, if we're thinking about the asteroid mining, and if our India is not moving forward with those particular sectors, so after few years, like 50 years or 60 years, we need to be again be colonized by other people, because they will have lots of money. Like if some country can do asteroid mining, if they are successful in doing that stuff, they will become the most richest country in a night. Right. Yes. So if we are not moving forward in these ways, we are really not seeing the future. So we have to see the future, and we have to encourage our entrepreneurs, our students, to really get into this space tech entrepreneurs. That's really great. And as you have said that not only that, don't think about you have to build a launch vehicle, you have to build a satellite, you have to build bigger things. So everything starts with very small thing. Take one single small data set from NASA website. Go to data.nasa.gov. I am giving you the site, that is data.nasa.gov. You will get 45,000 data sets available over there. Take any of them and try to get a meaning out of it. Maybe you are not making money out of it at the first day, but you will start making information out of it, and information is valuable. Anybody wants to buy information nowadays, right?
Yes.
So you can do money without any manpower. If you know data science, if you know even Excel or Python a little bit, you can go and utilize this thing and create something meaningful out of it. And when you will start doing this thing, your friends, your people who are around you, they will be interested to join you, because space is absolutely interesting for any person, because space is unknown and it don't has any boundaries. Every particular domain saturates, but space is something that eventually is not going to saturate in coming 10,000 years, because space is boundless. We can do whatever kind of things we want to do, and there are a lot of problem statements out there. So that's really incredible thing. So
adding to that, let me tell you, you were telling entrepreneurship is only into IT or IoT. No, let me tell you, ISRO started in 1969, August 15th. Okay, there was no IT that time. So from that time, we are in this space. Okay, so only thing was, it was costly affair. That is why only governments were there. Nowadays, with the advent of electronics, with the advent of all the material which is required for this, it's easy now. It's easy now to collaborate with government, and even government is encouraging so many startups.
Exactly. Even we have seen a few days back, Mars has sent up the NASA has sent the Mars Perseverance rover, and there are few parts, few sections in that particular rover that was made by startups. Maybe that's a US
Yes.
startup or whatever it is, but we
Yes.
can also encourage our Indian startup to contribute in the small
Yes.
parts or something like that, so they can feel inclusive and they can really get the confidence to go further and build real launch vehicles, build real stuff, and that's really incredible. And this movement is happening. It's not like that it's not happening. There are so many space tech companies who are really doing great. Like one kind of company I have seen growing in last 1 year, like Star. There is a company called Star who is providing absolutely fantastic space tech education to people. This company is created by a aeronautics engineer, as far as I know, and they are really doing really good stuff. People are because see, we don't need to. Space is not a different subject. It's the implementation
Yes.
of all the subjects we know. So if
Yes.
people want to learn robotics, data science, machine learning, and all these kind of subjects, it's very important to understand how we can utilize those subjects in space problems. So we don't
Yes.
need to learn anything else. So
Yes.
even we have seen we can build satellites with even Arduino in very small sats, low orbit sats, right? And many people, many thousands and lakhs of people are working with Arduino, but nobody has thought about it. So it's very important to understand that space is not a different subject. It's the application of all the subjects we are learning in a far more better way and far more advanced way. So if you are an electronics engineer, you are a mechanical engineer, even if you are a civil engineer, we are thinking of space colonization. So in that regard, you can contribute in that domain as well. So space is interesting because it's a multidisciplinary and all discipline comes under this. That's really incredible thought. So we have certain questions from audiences. Let's go through this question. One question I want to answer because this question is just pushed to me. One person, little boy of class 11 wants to contact me, but somehow I couldn't answer. So he's writing like, কবে থেকে কথা বলার চেষ্টা করছি, so please একটু কথা বলো. So Akash, just ping me right now. After this session, I will just, the first thing I will do that I will reply you, and extremely sorry if I couldn't see your message. And please, and I really respect your determination that you are coming to the live to just push me to talk to you, and thank you so much. That's really incredible. Just ping me up. I will just answer your question, or I will just interact with you. So next thing is somebody is asking. Sagar Das is asking, I am from electronics and communication engineering, sir, how I prepare for ISRO?
Again, right. So you have subjects which are dedicated to, if you are if you are contesting for ISRO jobs, there are so many electronics, VLSI and embedded application subjects which they put up in their platform. You need to look into those subjects. Why? Because they'll be having a screening round. It starts with the exam. Afterwards, it starts with interview. And ISRO interviews are not that easy. They look into your basics. Don't think about, start reading about advanced technologies. They look at your basics. They look into your mathematics and physics. Why? Because if you want to become a scientist in ISRO, basic mathematics and physics plays an important role. At the same time, electronics, I mean, there are so many fields in ISRO. Okay, based on the job role, you have to prepare. And there are, I don't remember the subjects right now, but you can always find it on internet, what all the subjects they put in the exam which they keep. But ISRO interviews, I have interacted with so many of my friends and the students. What they tell is they look for basics. They give you a problem statement. Let's suppose above 40 kilometers, stratosphere is above 40 kilometers, I think. Okay, if there are so many scientific explorations happened in that space, right? They give out a problem statement. I put up a sensor in that in a balloon, and I blow it into the stratosphere. And how do you get the data? See, these kind of practical questions they put up. They see for your practical, and how do you address that problem? How do you calculate the mathematics from Earth? The balloon will travel. Okay, while it is traveling, how it gathers the information, how do you get the information? So these kind of things people look for the interview, but before going to interview you have to prepare for the syllabi which they give in their space. Yeah,
exactly. So I want to add something with this thing. So Sagar, for you, uh, stop reading sitting in libraries if you want to become a space engineer, or if you want to get into ISRO or this kind of organization. Not only space, see the industry working on hands-on training. So if you want to really get into this kind of respected organizations, or because see in space we are not building something that can really we can sacrifice on failures, or we can do experiments. So we have to do hands-on things, right? So if you are learning in electronics and communication engineering, that's a very prominent part of space science. But what you need to learn, that implementation part, not only on the college laboratories with some demo instruments, you have to build real stuff, build your small robot, work on your electronic circuits, build PCBs. So there are enormous things that you can do. So really do something that can help you to enjoy your engineering in that way. You don't need to go to a movie again, right? So your life should be that much interesting that you are building new stuff every day, you are creating new stuff every day, you are getting. And last day we are having a we are having Dr. Moham Chaudhary. She is the patent and trademark attorney, and I asked a very important question to her, that is there any age limit or any qualification limit to get the patent, copyright, or the publishing the papers and all those stuff? So there is nothing, but still people are not pushing through that domain. Many people are creating good projects, but they are not getting exposure because they don't know about this, and other big companies are stealing their ideas, but they don't know that I have built a so small thing, why people will steal my idea? But idea can never be small. It's all about the implementation. If somebody can take your idea and implement it in proper way, that can become a multi-million dollar company, right? So always go for practical implementation. And if you want to know about different aspect of space, like GNSS, like remote sensing, so we are collaborated with ISRO for the EduSat program, where you can do this kind of courses online, sitting at your home, free of cost. And we are not teaching it. The ISRO people, the ISRO scientists, ISRO are teaching you these courses free of cost, and you can get a certificate out of it. So you can ping me up, you can ping Think Again Lab, you can get all the information from there, or even you can go to the site of ISRO, and whenever you are fulfilling the form for registering of any courses, you can choose Think Again Lab as your institute. So Think Again Lab is enlisted as an institute in ISRO site, so you can go and check and apply over there, and you can start your space journey by today. Right. So
if I'm not wrong, there are some Indian space programs which are designed purely for engineering students. You can just type out Indian space program, so that you can go and explore so many things which are available. And you can write to few scientists. He asked for how I have to prepare for ISRO. If you are project based, then you can always write mails to scientists. They hardly respond, but who knows, someday if they respond, then you have always opportunity to go and do. As Arijit was mentioning, practicality is important. If you sit in your room and if you read the textbook, it will not fetch you anything. You have to do practically. In order to do practice, you need to buy the components and do some stuff which is proof of concept. It need not be a space thing. You need to develop a proof of concept. You need to read few papers, so that you can always do something in the space.
Absolutely. And email is a good way. Another way, we right now having a very sensitive weapon in our hand, that is called social media. Now it depends how we are using that social media. So if you really want to get connected with astronauts, NASA scientists, ISRO scientists, LinkedIn is a very good platform, Twitter is a very good platform, but there is some terms and condition that you have to make your social profile in that way that those people will see and reply to you. Like few days back, I was just learned about Elisa Carson. She was the first 13-year-old girl who has completed the astronaut program, and she is in the team of 7 people who are going to Mars for a space mission and all those stuff. Now I just learned about her and tried to contact her and just send her a request in LinkedIn. Within 3 days, she accepted. Why she accepted? Because of my profile. If she is coming to my profile, she is seeing that I am related to ISRO, I am related to startup, I am related to NASA, I am the Space of India lead. So these things giving me validation that I'm an authentic person with whom she can talk without any
Yes.
fear or without anything. So it's very important how you are building your social presence to get connection in a very less amount of time. That's really incredible. You can get connected with any kind of people you want if you really consider this thing. So that's the thing. That's I think that will be helpful for you. Uh, Next we have okay. We have another question from Ishank Shubuddin. Sir, can you please give suggestions on domain in which a robotics enthusiast can work and implement his rover if he's building one?
See, let's take one rover which is roaming on lunar space, right? See, moon has water, Mars has water, and if you take moon or any planet, it has few materials which are abundant, which are abundantly available, and we can fetch them so that we can use it for the purpose. If you want gold in on earth, you have to dig on the ocean and you have to get it. Okay, if you see that the gold which you get by doing that mining is costlier than, I mean, it's very less than the mining which we do. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
see, if you are on that surface, if you are looking for water, if you are looking for any abundant materials, you need to have few sensors, right? You need to have few sensors which throw, it can be anything, it throws out some radiation so that it gets back the signal, and then it analyzes, and then it has few pickup robots so that it can picks up the data, it tests again, and it can extract the data. So this is one example which I told. I forgot to tell you one more thing. See, the sensors which we use for academic purpose is different. If you go for industrial applications, the sensors which we use are different. Why? Because they are calibrated to few things. If you go to space again, the sensors which we use has to withstand dramatic changes in the temperature. If you are facing sun, it's plus 150 degrees. Okay, your robot, or if your sensor or whatever equipment you have, if you are facing sun, it has to withstand plus 150 degrees. If you are in Earth's shadow, it is minus 150 degrees. So this kind of this kind of sensors has to be built. Even electronics and instrumentation people can vouch for it. Why? Because those people can work in terms of sensors. Not only electronics and instrumentation per se, even chemical engineers and chemical engineers. I mean, any engineer can come and build something. So I think gives us on domains in which robotics enthusiasts can work and implement in this rover. So that is what rover is. It just roams around and it looks for the material. All right, building the rover itself, you can build it in a cost-efficient manner. And the examples which I told, if you work in that direction, why we are going to space? Why? Because we have some material over there which we can use it for ourselves. Otherwise, if we how many days we can rely on the resources which are available on Earth? Okay, we have other resources in the space. We need to explore that. In order to explore, yes, your rover should have these kind of sensors or equipments which does some survey and gets the information from there. Yeah, that answers your question.
Absolutely. So in that regard, I want to add something like how you can start doing it. It's not possible for anyone to understand what kind of sensors are required, or they don't have the funding to start with that. So if you are particularly talking about rovers, so what you can do, you can create. So what are the challenges for a rover for space? So we don't know the terrain properly because it's not like somebody has visited and seen it. It's all about the assumptions and all those things. We are not absolutely sure about the environment over there. So what happens? We have to go with the assumptions and we have to create our rovers according to that particular terrain and the weathers. Now the thing is, you can start with different terrains in your home or wherever you are working, that I am building a particular type of terrain. Maybe that's not a Mars surface, that's not a moon surface, but
Yes.
that's something different. And I am trying to build a rover that can traverse through that artificial terrain. So I am giving you an example, like NASA has a particular facility called Mars Earth, right? So that's the artificial Mars landscape where they test the dual copy of the rover they are sending to Mars. So they always build two rovers, one for the Mars year where they're testing the thing, and one that will go to the Mars, right? So it's always the testing purpose for the terrain and all those stuff, because it's all about the mathematics and physics. How my sensors, because sensors are nothing but application of mathematics and physics. Whatever kind of sensors you can go and check, it's electronics, physics, and mathematics all together working, and sometimes chemical or biological things all together working to get certain differences. Sensor get differences, right? Nothing else than that. So you need to work on artificial things, not only so many people build a robot and controlling with remote and telling that I am building a rover. That's not a rover. Whenever you are talking about a rover, that should work on a certain artificial environment which is not comfortable, and we have to make our rover comfortable in that particular domain. Like during my college days, that's very simple thing, but I think people can relate. So Think Again Lab, this name, there is a history behind this name, but this name first used in an event in a robotics competition. It's a tech fest in our college, and I was the robotics head in that particular fest. And I created a particular terrain and a particular competition that was featured in Times of as it was the first blindfolded event in robotics Asia. I just bring sands from different places and put those sands, create a terrain where people need to just their rover and do certain tasks blindfoldedly, and somebody will tell them how to control, where to go, and people are controlling it. So in this way, you can make your own terrain at home. Very simple things. You can take water, you can take mud, you can take different kind of things, and you can create your artificial environment and test whether your rover can go through it or not. So this is not really helping you to build a rover for Mars, but it's helping you to build the attitude to build rovers for any artificial environment. So that's how you can start with and go forward. Yeah. I want to know the same thing. Okay. So there is another question, is what are the skills required to join the space industry? It's from Aisha.
Physics, mathematics, again, see, skills in the sense programming skills are required. Why? Because see, one is electronics. If you want to build anything around space shuttle or satellite or any electronics is necessary. Electronics means from resistor, capacitor to sensors and other parts. Okay. At the same time, you need to know what kind of cameras those people use, what is the calibration of those cameras or calibration of those sensors. See, you need to have knowledge about electronics. Physics, why? Because as Arijit was also mentioning, you need to have your rovers on different terrains, right? If you have a terrain like this, then what kind of push and pull your motors has to have in that rover, okay? And what kind of pressures you have to keep put on your front tires and back tires. See, this is all of thinking, right? So basic thing is you should have mathematics background, physics background, which is very much necessary, and at the same time electronics part and programming. This is combination of all these things, okay? If people are from mechanical, they can work around this combustion machines, or they can work on towards motors and all. See, this is combination of all these things, but learning all these things is very difficult. So my point is, if you are from electronics background, you work around electronic sensors or the motors or whatever is available in electronics, and mathematics and physics should be there. Why? Because as you work with altitudes and longitudinal components, you need to have that basic knowledge, right? And our school, our college and engineering also, we are all corrupted educators, right? We think that I have a 9 percentile or 10 percentile in my intermediate. People, all of us think that we are ready for engineering. But what we did was a Rattamar, and we brought some marks. Okay, that Rattamar,
call it a BSSIN, being a servant syndrome induced by negativity.
You learn the formula, you just install few values in that formula, you get a value. It's not mathematics. Okay, you need to have the practical knowledge. You need to calculate the things. You need to simulate few things. In order to simulate, you need to have software knowledge. So that is what I said. What is your interested area? If you know your interested area, then you can spend your time on it, and you see how it matches with the space thing. That answers your question.
Exactly, and I want to summarize the fact and give you a particular terminology that will help you to understand what kind of skill you need to have, and that is a very generalistic skill, because you have asked what kind of skill required to join the space industry. It's enormous number of skills are there, so I don't know what is your background and all those stuff, so I am giving you a very general purpose answer that you need to have critical thinking skill, whatever your domain is. If you have that, you can get into space industry or any kind of this kind of where we need real working capability or hands-on training capabilities. So go to Google and search about what is critical thinking, and you will understand how to use this critical thinking in your domain to get into space industry. That would be relevant for you, I think. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. That's an incredible answer. Okay, so we are not having any questions right now. People will come and comment, and we'll talk about that. So my question is not related to space industry. We can ask some other expertise you have, because you have multiple expertises. So I have seen that your company, your incubation is a business accelerator as well. So
Yes.
so we all right now, after since last 3 years, all the people who know about entrepreneurship, they are little bit have knowledge about what is incubation, what is an incubator, what they do. But what is the basic difference between an incubator and an accelerator?
Yeah. See, whenever you just go on road, you see some problem, you have a thought how to address that problem. If there is some solution to that problem, how to enhance it, right? There is that idea in you, right? That idea is in ideation stage. Whenever you think about how to make it and how to get it into market and how to get the commercials, then it is called innovation. Okay, I always tell, wherever I go, I tell the formula for innovation is ideation into commercialization. If you just have idea and if there is no commercial aspect in it, then it is not innovation. If you have commercial aspect and if there is no proper idea, it just sustains for some time. Okay, the real
It's
innovation,
a business, it's not an innovation.
yes, you have some idea, and if there is commercial aspect attached to it, then it is called innovation. Now incubation centers are the ones which nurtures the innovative ideas. You see, they see that you build a proof of concept, and then you take it into market. Then coming to business accelerators, you are already working on some product, your product is already there, and you don't know how to grab the market. Otherwise you are confined to one geographical location. But if you want to expand your business, okay, what kind of strategies you should have, what kind of mentoring support you should have. Why? Because you might have done your product with minimum objectives. Okay, if I come up and tell you, if you add these two objectives, then your product can have good addressable market, right? You know, target addressable market and obtainable markets. Okay, you have to understand your target addressable markets and obtainable markets. Based on that, as an accelerator, what we do is we give mentoring support in taking your product. You are already product ready, but you are not seeing, you are not having good visibility in the global market or in other areas. We push your product in, we get you visibility in the market. At the same time, we mentor you in such a way that there are few more objectives added, and it is solving the other needs in the market. So basic difference is this only. If you are till proof of concept, from there also incubations will help you to make it as a product and take it into market, and assigning you some venture capitalists or angel investors to you. At the same time, you are already in the market, you are doing something, you have traction in the market, but you are stuck somewhere. There the business accelerators will come into picture, associate you to some other venture capitalists to take it forward. At the same time, if you want some technical support, this business accelerators will, the name tells, we accelerate your product, which is already there in the market. Yeah.
Fantastic. That's a very clear and transparent answer to all the people. I hope people have understood what is the difference between incubation and acceleration. Thank you so much for that answer. So next, why India? I am not saying that there is no good entrepreneurs, there is no good startup. There are several hundreds of startups, but still entrepreneurship is not that much mainstream, or not everybody want to be entrepreneur, or not everybody pursuing that thing in a proper way. So what's the reason behind it? Why this thing is happening?
there are so many points around this, but let me give out few things. One is financial capabilities of students and their parents is one aspect, and from so many days we are conditioned to work under someone. We are all job seekers. Okay, that is conditioned in our. Why? Because I am working with so many entrepreneurs. Okay, if they have some idea and people are working, their parents will bug me. They'll call me and they'll ask, why you are asking my student to bunk their classes and sit in your lab and do something. I said, I mean, when do if you want, I mean, if you want your son to create jobs, it's a great thing. You want your son to be a job creator or job seeker. Okay, that is one thing. Coming to mindset of parents. At the same time, the society, they tell you you have to have some security in your life. First thing is that, okay, major thing, right? We have to change the societal mindset. Yes, right now it's changing. So many young entrepreneurs are coming up, but in rural areas, we need to change the mindset. So there are so many rural innovators. We need to encourage them is one point. The second thing, Arijit, you also know, if you go to engineering colleges, how many of them are coders and how many of them are typewriters? What I mean by typewriter, if you go to any C programming lab or Python programming lab, what usually students do, they take their senior's lab record, they write it in their book and they sit in front of their system, they just typewrite the code. If you are typewriting the code, what kind of knowledge you are, you don't have logical
Even
skills.
few people have stopped being typewriter itself. They are taking the thing in pen drive and copy pasting. So they are not even typing itself. That I have seen. And the most important point, people are learning C, people are learning Java, people are learning Python. Nobody is learning logic and programming. That's the biggest problem. People are not learning logic. They are learning a particular programming language, and that is making them mentally disabled. They cannot think beyond the C program. They cannot think beyond the Python program. That's the biggest problem I have seen.
They are not thinking beyond the 10 programs which are there in their syllabus. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is one problem. And another problem is people have to understand the innate capability of themselves. Okay, I might be good in sales. I might be good in marketing. I might be good in programming. I might be good in content writing. Everyone are thinking that IT industry is the big industry. I want to code. If you have sales capability, if you have, see, you take who is Apple CEO, what are his skills? Okay, he is not good in programming, but he has that vision of taking product. He has that critical thinking, as you were mentioning. He has that critical thinking. Okay, he saw something in Xerox. Okay, Xerox company has that facility. He saw it, and then he came back to Apple. He spoke to Steve Jobs. I'm talking about Steve Jobs. He spoke to his engineers, and then they developed it and they marketed it well. Okay. See, one more thing, all engineering students engineering or degree students has to understand is, if you are reading engineering, you are not bound to become IT employee. You might have so many other skills. If you have that skills, you watch upon those skills and you see for other people. Let's suppose you want to build something, but you don't have those coding capabilities, but you have that vision. You have there is no existing system which does that. Okay, if you have that thought capability, you just go and search for like-minded people, get them on board. You have the capability of human race, how to work with a team. Okay, these all things will play a role. So these three are the major important. I mean, people don't have, see, I might build a product, but if I don't have skills of selling it in the market, what's good for the product? Okay, if you have selling capabilities, if you don't have product, what's good for that? Okay, so that is what I'm telling. Entrepreneurship is a combination of so many other skills. If you have one or two, it's good thing. Try to see for other skills people, like-minded people who are passionate and who lives your dream. One more important thing why startups fail is not having good team, not having like-minded people. See, people come out passionately at that point of time. Their aspiration is to do something, but that dies out after some time. You, as a leader, you should see that it shouldn't dies out. Okay, these are the few important things which I have seen. One thing is, our education system is making us to become job seekers. Country like India, where 130 crore population is there, we are second largest. At the same time, if you see, we are the youngest nation. Okay, our average age is 27, 28 years. If you compare with the big countries like USA, China, and Japan, their average age is about 38 and 40 years. Okay, we are young nation. We are second largest population. If we change, I mean, yes, national educational policy has changed now. It's our responsibility, like Viba or Think Again Lab, or it's our responsibility to see that this is implemented properly, and these kind of capabilities which are required for a startup, we as a people has to take it as a responsibility and see that it is done. So these are a few things which are there. People always complain about funding. Don't think about funding. If you have idea, you bootstrap, you go to your parent, you get to your cousin, take some amount, build some prototype, take that prototype and show it to some incubation centers where you have funds. Okay, and nowadays, I mean, 3-4 years back, if you have idea, people used to fund your idea, but nowadays people are not funding your ideas. If you have some proof of concept, in some extent people wants to see the traction, how many customers are using your product. Based on that, they are giving funding. So again, make your hands dirty. If you have some idea, have some like-minded people, explain your parents what you are trying to do. It takes, I always tell, there is a formula. If you want to become an entrepreneur, you should have 3 years of time. This is one formula. You should have 3 years of your time into it. At the same time, you should have parent support. Why? Because if they are not supporting, then, I mean, there are exceptional cases who have fought all these things, but you should have at least parent support and friend support so that you can bootstrap and build something, and you should have 3 years of time. That is why I always tell, start early, fail early, so that you can learn so many things. Yeah.
Exactly. And about the sales skill, I personally think 2 skills should be mandatory from schools for everybody. One is sales, one is financial management. Because people are not understanding saving is not investing. So we need to understand how to manage money, how to use money, how to grow money. Since our school days, maybe that's 100 rupees, maybe that's 200 rupees. But if the pocket money concept becomes a mandatory to all the students, they will really understand when to behave luxury and when to behave mediocre, and how to use that money to make more money out of it, and what is the magic of investment, what is the magic of compound interest. On the other hand, the sales skill. So I have seen many people that I don't want to go to sales, so they have a fear in sales, but they don't understand, we all people, whatever we are doing, we are selling our different parts of body every time, every day. Now, if we don't have the sales skill, we cannot sell ourselves, whether that's a skill, that's my appearance, that's my voice, whatever it is. So we all need to sell our different parts of body. So selling is a must-have skill to each and everybody. You need to have it. So it's not about
your resume is your selling point. You are selling your skills, you are selling on your resume.
Yeah, so sales is a mandatory for each and every person in this art, because sales means convincing others. So whatever you are doing, you are convincing others. So you need to have proper skill to do that thing in a proper way. So don't fear the selling thing. If needed during your college life, go to certain shop and start selling out there. That will give you certain knowledge that your engineering degree cannot give you. That's really important, hugely important.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are absolutely at the end of the show. We have 10 minutes in our hand. There is no new questions. So my question is, what is the importance of hackathon in fostering innovations? Is it really important? Hackathon is important, or it's not important, or the way we are doing hackathon, that is good or bad? So what's your point of view regarding this thing?
Yeah. See, usually hackathons, they last for 24 hours, 48 hours, 5 days hackathons. Okay. The concept of hackathon is one thing: you form a team, you are working in a team. At a stretch, you are sitting on a problem statement. You do so much of brainstorming around the objectives and how to build it in time. Why? Because if you enter into industry, or if you are a startup also, you have time bounds associated with it. Okay, this hackathons will give you edge in that. Everything. See, I have seen some problem. I might have 100 objectives how to solve it, but taking few objectives which are very important is one thing which is learned in hackathon. Okay, take minimum objectives, try to solve them, try to solve them in time, try to solve them with your team, brainstorm about it, which is important or what is important. That is one thing which we can learn from hackathons, right? So and at the same time you will be pitching your idea. It's a great thing. Hackathons are very great platforms where you can showcase all your skills. One thing is understanding the problem, coming out with great requirements, good requirements, solving those requirements in time bound. Okay, once you solve them in time bound, then how do you present it? Okay, not only technically, you have to business pitch also. You need to write business plan to your product which you have built. So many things happening in 24 hours or 48 hours. It's a great thing. Okay, at the same time, the way we people are doing it is good. I mean, I always tell, don't focus on ideathons. Ideathons are school students. Ideathons are for school students, intermediate or PUC students. Whenever you come to undergraduate or postgraduate, you should have makeathons. Okay, you need to build some product. You need to have a discussion about this. You need to present it properly. You need to write business plans. You need to pitch your idea. Whenever there is an investor, he looks into so many other angles. Okay, so this is what the importance of hackathons are. So I always tell, for undergraduate, from undergraduate onwards, you should have makeathons. Ideathons, it is only for school students and intermediate or PUC students. So yeah, that is what my suggestion towards hackathons. Hackathons are very great. I mean, you might have seen so many startups have come from hackathons. So many startups have come up from hackathons.
Exactly, absolutely. And the most important thing that about the business plan thing, that's really important. Like 3-4 years back, it was not part of NASA Space App Challenge. So NASA Space App Challenge, people used to concentrate on innovations. Now, yes, if we cannot commercialize the innovation, then that's not an innovation, and that is not reaching out to people. So what I have did when I get into this NASA Space App Challenge or Thinking and Lab, just I come into the picture. So whoever is participating on behalf of Thinking and Lab, and this years we are organizing a bootcamp for all the national participants by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So we are teaching them what is business model canvas, how to pitch, how to prepare an elevator pitch, what is the business aspect. So they need to know about it. At first, people get frustrated because it's most of the time innovators don't have the business intelligence, but they need to have it. Otherwise, other people will just cheat them. So that's why we have included that thing and made mandatory that there needs to be a business model canvas behind your presentation. Even if suppose you are building something futuristic like space travel, space tourism or something like that, but you need to think a business model with respect to the future itself. That this will be the costing, this will be maybe those numbers are not appropriate, but still you are understanding how to organize the idea into a business model. That's the most important aspect of any innovation. That's absolutely true. Yeah. So our next question is how we can push students for innovation since their school days or within this particular broken education system. So this education system is not going to change in a day. So what are the ways through which student can really get the real taste of innovation and teamwork and all those stuff?
One thing is, in schools, we need to start school innovation programs where this age kids are very intelligent. They are with technology. They use all gadgets. So it's responsibility of parents, teachers, and facilitators like us. What we all have to do is we need to tell them what all areas are there in the community, right? It can be anything, agri-tech, health tech, or anything. We need to start exposing all these things to the students. We need to ask them, okay, you can just ask a 10-year kid, I have some problem, I sweat a lot, okay. Why do I sweat a lot? If you just ask him a question, as he has gadget with him, he has to start exploring on internet. He has to read about it. Why? Because nowadays the school systems have a proficient English in them. Okay, they can read anything and they can learn. Otherwise, we have language translators where people can learn. See, what I'm thinking is that thought process. Okay, you need to give them problems. Okay, my lift is not working. Why my lift is not working? Otherwise, if the lift has to go up, what it takes, what kind of motors are there? See, these kind this age students, they have technology, they have equipments with them. And there are so many, I mean, if you go to Amazon or Flipkart, there are so many platforms which are there for students to make their hands dirty, right? They can play around, the components, they can play around some materials which they can do. Okay, and one more thing is, I don't know how many of you have heard, Atal tinkering labs are there in schools. Okay, our government is giving a few thousands of rupees to schools to have this.
Not thousands, they are giving lakhs, 20 lakhs rupees to each school to
20
set
lakhs
up the
rupees.
auto-tinkering lab.
Yes. So you can have the structure in your schools. Even school management has to think in this direction. It's not only giving
Still, it's
education.
so much difficult to push this thing in schools. Like we provide consultancy for getting auto tinkering lab, because if there is lots of documentation, lots of procedures and all those stuff. But still, we need to send our sales pitch, sales guy to convince them to get this 20 lakhs rupees. So this kind of mentality, rigid mentalities are there. That's the reason we cannot evolve through the time in a day or night, and
I
it's
said no.
very difficult to let them. And
As
whenever
a,
you telling that I will help you to get 20 lakhs rupees to set up something, they think you are a cheater, you are a fraud. But they couldn't understand. It's not my money. It's not coming from my pocket. I'm just giving a consultancy. I will take a fees out of it to set up a thing out there and how to operate and all those stuff. So that's the thing. That mentality is very big problem. Like I have a question right now that will really support my answer. Not with auto tinkering lab. Like somebody is saying, Akash is saying, my father doesn't allow me to do my electronics and robotics project for my studies. So this is the problem. Now I am not telling whatever his father is doing is wrong. I don't know why he is stopping. But in most of the case, what happens, they have not seen these things in their time, so it's a bad thing. So it's very bad mentality. If you don't know, at least consult with someone whom you trust, that whether it's a good field or not, whether my son or daughter is doing right or not. You are a parent, it's your responsibility to obviously think good about your sons. And I truly believe that whatever you are doing for good of your son or as your child, right? But at the day's end, whatever, if you are not getting proper knowledge from proper people, in the process of doing good, you are doing the worst thing to your child. So that's very bad, very bad. And you should have knowledge in it. Yeah,
Akash, what I can tell you is, you explain to your father, okay, why you are doing this, and if you do this, what kind of opportunities you get in the future. Why? Because they don't know what, if you do some electronics, they think that you are not spending your time on your mathematics or physics or something like that. But you should tell them electronics is the future. Why? Because IoT, by 2025, billions of sensors will be sitting around us. IoT is next future. If you talk about space, even there the electronics is there. You should explain him what are the applications, what are the things which you can do there. Okay, so if you explain your father, if you convince your father, then he might allow you to do. Otherwise, as Arijit mentioned, some mentors like Arijit or myself, you people can ask us, we can explain him what we can do with robotics. Okay, as I always mention, from 10 years I am working towards that. We need to shift the society. We need to change the culture. We need to change the mindset of people. As a facilitators, it is our responsibility. It takes much more time. In urban, it's okay, but still urban parents are thinking in job seeking things only. But it is our responsibility. Wherever we go, we have to educate parents, society. We need to change their mindset. Okay, if we can do that in our lifetime, then it's a great achievement. But because our future can benefit from this. Okay, so that is what
I can give an idea to Akash. Puja is coming, so you have a budget for your puja, Akash. So save a little amount of money, like 1,000, 1,500 or 1,000 is enough for it, and build a simple thing. And the project is, if somebody is getting into the bathroom, the light is going on, and if they are coming out, it's going off. And put it in the bathroom your father is using, and then see what happens. So it's not always problem from our parents' part. maybe we are not able to show them our dedication and the applicability, right? So do something, and this is our idea. You can do other things as well. So do something that your father can use, and that day
Yes.
your father will never stop you. Even they will fund your projects, I can
Yes.
bet you.
Yes.
So this is
Yes.
the way you can convince people to, by showing them, not telling them, right? That's very important. Yeah, so we are absolutely at the end of the show. What you want to say for the finalist for the NASA Space Up Challenge? Few lines for them, few inspiration for them.
First of all the participants take a problem statement which excites you. See, NASA Space Apps Challenge, if you see the problem statements, don't think we don't have programming skills. There are some problem statements where 3D artists can do something, storytellers can do something, okay? You people have to really explore what kind of problem statements are there in NASA Space Apps Challenge. I mean, I have gone through, so many students have called me and said that, sir, I am in first year, I don't have required programming skills or hardware skills. I said, why don't you explore few things which are artistic? Okay, you can make a video, you can make 3D art, you can draw something. I mean, you just think about it, you draw something. That is also acceptable in NASA Space App. That's the greatness of NASA Space App Challenge. You can tell a story, you can make a video, you can draw something. Okay, so these kind of problem statements are there. You explore the kind of problem statements which are there. You try to adhere to the problem statement which they have given. Why? Because most of the students, they don't adhere to they understand it differently. They do something. If it is not adhering to the problem statement which they have given, then you are not in the finals, right? So these are the two things which I wanted to tell. It's not only programmers, even artists have directors, story writers. You have, all of you have the equal chance to participate, right? So that is one thing which I wanted to tell. I want you to explore all the problem statements, adhere to the problem statement which they have given. See, NASA Space, if you want to be finalist, you have to use NASA data. There are so many resources there. You have to use the NASA resources, NASA, JAXA, ESA, whatever resources they have given. You have to use those resources, then only you can be finalist, right? And from Viba's side, okay, if your problem statements are good, if we see potential in the problem statement, we are ready to incubate you people into our incubation center. We can mentor you, we can show you how you can take it into product, making product and taking it into market. We can support you in that. With the help of Think Again Lab, we can collaborate and do so many things. That is what I can tell you. See, only 2 people can reach finals, but if the third person or fourth team has potential, then we are there to help you people. We are all in collaboration. We will help you people to take you forward. As an incubation center, we are there. As an end-to-end solution, Think Again Lab is there. We can always help you people to go forward. So that is what I say to all the participants and to the finalists. Yes, you have opportunity to participate globally. If you win there are six awards are there where you can win, and you can see launch in NASA. So that is what it is. Do your hard work from now on. Use your 48 hours properly. You have mentors. Mentors from NASA, at the same time local chapters also. Make use of your mentors. Build a product, proper product, so that you can be a winner in the NASA Space Apps Challenge.
Absolutely, that's incredible inspiration and motivation, and absolutely not only inspiration and motivation, it's very informative whatever you have said for the people. And I want to add 2 stories, 2 very short stories, and that's real story of NASA Space App Challenge. One story happened just 2 days back. So generally what happens, we say that it's a 24 hours non-stop hackathon, but it happens in small chunks, like it happens with introduction, then people go for the mentorship and all the stuff. But for Think Again Lab, we did it like continuous 24 hours hackathon without any stress. Maybe there are 30 minutes, 15 minutes break in between, but it's absolutely everybody needs to stay in same platform, and we have to do. And there was a kid of class 7 who stayed since 4 o'clock in the morning with us and learned app development during the process and developed the app. So it's an incredible thing. And he's selected for the nationals. He is going with his team to the national. And he
Excited to
not
see
only,
him.
yeah, so he not only the NASA Space Up Challenge, he was related to Thinking Alone for last 2 years, and
Oh,
he participated in different workshops and competed with engineering students. And I have never seen a single drop of fear in his face. So he
great.
always had to enjoy. So I always say, many people that see this guy, that how he is enjoying and he is overcoming the fear of winning and fear of losing and the urge of winning. That's the biggest thing.
Yes,
So if you want to win, there is only minor percentage of people who can win. So you can
yes,
get failure, but if you want to get the knowledge and if you want to learn and enjoy, there's an enormous number of opportunity. And the most important thing is networking. This is the one thing.
yes,
Second thing, as Sir is telling, that it's not about high tech things. It's not about you need to build a high tech thing. In 2015, the team who won the international challenge, they have drawn a spacesuit. So it's
yeah.
not
See,
about the medium of innovation. Whatever kind of innovation you can take and make it a world-class product or world-class thing. So that. This should be your inspiration to understand NASA Space Up Challenge is not all about building rockets. It's all
yes,
about solving problems related to space, and space not only having problems to build the rockets. There are every problem we encounter on Earth, those resembles in space itself, because we are trying to colonize space, we are trying to push people to space. So all kind of problems we are having in Earth, that's relatable and common problem, we are having in different format those problems in space as well. So it's not about you need to have space science knowledge, robotics knowledge, you need to build a drone, you have to spend a lots of money. Whatever you have, whatever skill you have, you need to you can draw things, you can draw digital art, you can make movie, all kind of skills. Get the platform. We are trying to create a 360 platform. 360, all people can join this place, because
yes,
as I have told you in different sessions, that innovation start from art, then scientists evaluate that thing whether it's possible or not, whether it's feasible or not, then engineers and technologists implement this. So it's a total procedure which starts from art and ends in technology, and thereafter through marketing and sales. So don't think that whether if I don't have a technological knowledge I cannot be an innovator. Artist is
yes,
an innovator, they innovate. You need to understand this thing, and that's why you need to participate in NASA Space Up Challenge or this kind of hackathons. That will give you the boost, that whatever skill I have, that is not a small skill. You can draw, I cannot, so it's a big thing.
yes,
I can make
yes,
a robot, you cannot. You are thinking that I cannot make a robot, so I am a small thing. No, you can write a song, I cannot. So these all
yes,
skills are equally important, and equally important and interesting. Don't look upon yourself like I don't know about technology. What, who cares? Rabindranath Tagore didn't know about technology. He was a
yes,
world poet. So it's about the skill, not the technological thing or the sci-fi thing. So that's the thing you need to keep in your mind. We have the last question. We already passed the timing. Still, we have a question, so I want to go through it. Do you think college is wealthy? Because right now I'm doing physiotherapy at Sharda University after reading some business books like Rich Dad and Poor Dad of Robert, and I will teach you to be rich. I feel like college is not used for me, because I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know how to convince my parents. See, Sarah will answer this question betterly, but I just add one two lines. So it's not always about protesting against the parents, dropping out from the college. It's not mandatory thing. Even if staying in college can be the biggest point of being an entrepreneur, because you have 2000, 4000 customers at your end, you have
yes,
co-founders as your friend. College can be the biggest environment to create your startup. That I have did. All my co-founders are from my college. Now they have become experienced entrepreneurs, but that takes time. So if you're in college, that's the most lucky thing for you, that you are still in college and you have 20 2000 4000 people at your disposal who have the enthusiasm to do something new thing. So use this opportunity, don't take this as a setback. That mindset you should have. And about parent, what happens, I am telling, suppose I want to be an army. Now I am sleeping till 9 o'clock in the morning. How my parents can believe I can become an army? But if I am waking up at 4 o'clock, going for a running, maybe for the first month, maybe for the second month, they will criticize me. But when they will understand I have determination, they will push me to do that stuff, because parents don't want your bad. Parents always want your good and they want you to be comfortable. But if you let them understand that I am comfortable in uncomfortable situations as well, and I can pursue and I can take this struggle, they will support you. That's the problem. That's where the gap is. We need to overcome this gap. Then you will see that your parents is the most supportive person in this world, right? Hope I have answered the thing in proper way. Sir, what you want to say about it?
Most of the points you have covered. One more thing is, see, if you go into college, one thing is you can have mentors. I mean, all the points are covered by Arijit, but the other points which are there are like you can get a better mentor in college, where you don't find it when you are outside. But because college or university, you have different kinds of professors. Let's suppose you are in electronics, but you have some idea in chemistry. You might have some idea in biotechnology. You have easily accessible professors who are sitting there. Okay. Otherwise, if you connect with them, they can connect you to other friends who are sitting in other universities. One thing is you can get mentorship from your college, and one more thing is every college has some fund in supporting innovation or in supporting entrepreneurship. Okay, as you are studying in Sharda, I know you have some innovation center also. If you are in college, you can have great access to the fund. You can have great access to the mentors. You can, as Ajit said, 2,000 4,000 people are your customers. Whenever you build something, you can showcase your product to those people. You have early adopters to your product then and there in your college. Okay, and you can find your co-founders in your college. Why? Because so many events happens in college. So many students from outside your college also come and participate. Who knows? You can find your co-founders in those events, right? College will always give you that edge in getting mentors, in getting good friends who will support. Who knows? You have a rich friend who can fund your idea. Okay. See, these kind of things happen in college. So yeah, see, nothing is impossible. You can drop your college and you can become something. You be in college, work something and do something in your lab and you can become entrepreneur. Everything is possible. Whatever is good at your end, try to do that. Okay. Don't try to copy what others have done. See, for others, the environment is like that. And the capabilities are like that. You might not have the environment. You might not have those capabilities. So it's not always suggestible to drop down and do something. Okay, so you have to evaluate your environment, you have to evaluate your capabilities, you have to evaluate your situation, then only you take steps. That is what I wanted to say, adding to Ajit's points.
Thank you so much, sir. So we have a last question from a very common friend of ours. We know him. It's from Sai. So Sai is the Space of India lead and the founder of SUMVN and the initiator of the Space of India Challenge and now Space of Challenge in India. And he's the person who included me in this thing, and he is just kind of commenting like an audience. So that's the humble nature of Sai. Thank you so much for the comments. So Sai wants to ask, Hajra and Kaushik sir, how to take this Space of India international level?
So first of all, hi Sai, thanks for creating all these things.
He's right now a trip to Goa because we are having the nationals on Goa, so he's on the road right now and walking from the car. They are going to Goa to car and coming from there.
Yeah, I know. So in order to take Space App India to international level, as someone Think Again Lab, KGS Advisors and incubation centers like us, we are all working towards the vision what you people have. Okay, you want Space App, you want a space community to get built in India. Okay, the vision is very great. We need to get tied up with so many startups in Indian community, at the same time ISRO, so that we get support from them. And we need to have more these kind of hackathons. We need to invite those people. We need to invite the problem statements from their end, so that they participate in these hackathons. If they participate in our hackathons, ISRO officials or space entrepreneurs who are there in India, if they contribute to the Space App India, then the problem statements given by them, if we are solving, then we can become a part of them. And this I mean, why? Because if you see any space entrepreneur in India, they have tie-ups with international companies, international agencies. Okay, these people can bring those people on our board so that we can become international hackathon. Within 1 year or 2 years, I think we are entering into international space with the help of all our community people. One thing I suggest is get ISRO people on board, get problem statements from ISRO, DRDO, and space entrepreneurs who are working in the private sector, and involve them so that we can become international entity who are representing these hackathons. Yeah.
Absolutely, and we are having a discussion with Sai, and we are having a discussion that how to really do this stuff, and we have ended up discussing like we are right now in this year by 2020 or 2021 we are giving a legal formation to the Space App India community. We are converting it into a legal entity. That was a community before. Right now we are creating a legal entity out of it, like a trust. And we are getting connected with different astronauts, different space agencies, and we are going to give country leads in different countries, and we are going to continue this space talk. So this space talk was, so I want to just share a story how small things create big things. Like I was having a plan of creating a talk show since long before when these online things are happening, this pandemic is happening, but for this hell lot of work, I am not getting time to plan it and execute it and all those stuff. So one day Sai just asked me that, Arijit, you have to make a free time on 18th of this month, and we have to go live and tell people about the Space App India, what they can do. It's a orientation kind of thing. So Sai sent me a graphics. And somehow, as because I'm very much sensitive with graphics and designing thing, though I'm an engineer, I didn't have the skills before, but because of my mentor, right now I have started developing the skills, and I cannot see bad designs. So I saw the design, I didn't like it, and that was only for one day event and all those kind of stuff. So I started sitting down. I just sat down and started redesigning the poster, and I end up having the first poster of Space Talk. So it was not planned thing. I was just redesigning the graphics, and we just end up with the Space Talks show. So then I thought, if we can do it live, if we can do it for 1 hour, for one day, why not every day? Since the NASA Space App Challenge is coming on. So then I approached to all my close speakers who really are good speakers and have good knowledge in the domains. Approached them, they gave me confirmation. Then we started it, and today we are just landed up on the ninth episode of Space Talk, and we have decided that even after this NASA Space App Challenge, we are going to have the season 2. So this is the season 1. So we are going to have the season 2 for Space Talk for 1 year, for the next year's NASA Space App Challenge, and it will continue year after year. So that's how small things, small initiatives comes into bigger things. So that's the incredible power of urging and really doing something. That's incredibly great. So thank you so much, sir. I hope it was really informative session for everybody. We really tried to answer things in very transparent and very simple way so that everybody can understand. And thank you so much for joining us. I hope we will be collaborated for other things as well with the Viva and ThinkAGL, SUMVN, and all these companies, because collaboration is the new competition. And if we cannot collaborate, we cannot fight the giant brands, and we cannot create a brand out of it. So collaboration is the key. I strongly believe, and I strongly do collaborations for all the events and all the things I do. So hope for the best. Maybe we'll meet soon together and discuss about these collaborations and move forward. So thank you so much for joining. All the viewers, for you, tomorrow we are going to have a very interesting session, and very known face from the startup ecosystem of Bengal as well as in India, and he is going to tell you how to convert mud into money, right? And that's going to be incredibly interesting, and the journey of my brother. He used to be my brother and friend, and but lot more successful than me. He got funded. He's having his shops in all the airports, and his brand name is Rare Planet. So we are going to have him as a speaker tomorrow. So I hope everybody will join and learn from him how he converted mud into money and started his journey from college. So what I was saying, that college is the absolutely golden place to start your startup. So he started from college. He used to paint the coolers and places in the tables for selling it. Right now he is having own stores in different places. Even he's selling his products in airports and got funded from different funding agencies. So incredible journey. So I hope people will, though that is not as such related with space app challenge, but when we are talking about space, we are talking about space dust, and mud is a space dust. So it is part of Space India challenge, and you can get a inspiration to learn how to do a startup from college. So hope you will guys enjoy tomorrow's session as well, like you did today's session. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you.
Signing off.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.